Ladies and gentlemen, I am known as Mr. Vicious, Remo Vinci!
It has begun.
That's right, it has begun, everybody. My name again is Remo Vinci. I've done interviews for a little while now, off and on. Never been able to really take it seriously or put anything out like I wanted to, but I'm trying to start doing that now. So this is the very first interview I was able to do, and I was blessed enough to be able to get it. It was Leo the G, Leo Gama. It was a very special person, and I don't want to get too much into it now because I get into it on my intro from back then, and in the interview you could just see for yourself. But I was very blessed to come across this brother in my life, and I keep him with me every day. This is back from 2015, I believe. Everybody, please show some love, and rest in peace, my brother. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time. Hello, my name is Remo Vinci, and I did an interview with Leo Gama earlier this year. It was something that I'll never forget, and it'll be something that I treasure for the rest of my life because I followed Leo's journey, and I never actually got to meet him. I wish I could have, but I was able to reach out to him, and we interacted a couple times, and I thank him so much for allowing me some of his precious time just to talk about his experience and talk about some of the local rap game and just all kinds of different things that we touched on for such a brief period of time. This is my first venture into anything like this, and Leo was my first interview other than people that are close to me, and I wanted it to be Leo because it was something special to me. So I'm so thankful that I got to do it. Before I get into the interview, I just kind of want to talk about Leo just for a second. We lost Leo a few months after this interview. It just breaks my heart every time I think about it. I just want to say that life is a very beautiful, precious thing. And the people that we've lost have touched us all in so many different ways that we just will never be able to express fully what that does to the human spirit. But it's so special and it's so important. And Leo touched me in a special way, and I'll always be thankful for that, because I saw a human being that was a true fighter and that really loved his family and that was trying to make the absolute most of the time that he had here left. And you could see the pain in his eyes, but it was peaceful pain because Leo was enjoying the time he had regardless of the situation he was in. He was so damn strong, and you could see the emotion in his eyes and in his face. In every video I've seen or every picture I've seen, you could see all of that emotion, and you could see his personality. And dude seemed like a character. Leo seemed like an awesome person, and he definitely was in the interview. He was awesome. And like I said, I apologize in advance because I am by no means a professional. So please don't be too critical on me for my interviewing skills. But please just enjoy this interview and help us remember Leo Gama. Thank you. I'm here with Leo the G. And Leo, I've never really introduced myself to you formally. You know my name is Rich, but I also go by Remo Vinci, and I've been a part of stuff for a while. I've been rapping actually since I was about 12 years old, and I've been recording since I was about 17. So I've got a little bit of shit under my belt too. I'm not as out there as most everybody else is. I've kind of had a few bumps in the road, just like we all have had, and I'm just trying to get back into the feel of things, and in doing so I started coming up with ideas of things of getting myself out there a little bit. And one thing I wanted to do was to actually learn more about everybody else that's out there too, that's already doing things. And one of the things I wanted to do for doing that was start this podcast interview series here. And I wanted to interview people that I was actually interested in. And I've actually been following you for a while now on Facebook. And you just intrigued the shit out of me. And I actually told you on a message too that you inspire me all the time. If you could just kind of give people a little bit of a story about what you're going through and how it's been for you this past few years.
Yeah, definitely. Well, first off, my name's Leo Gama. My rap name is Leo the G. I've been battling stage 4 Ewing sarcoma cancer for 2 years. I got diagnosed back in 2013. Back then I was given 6 months to live. I ended up fainting at work, and I went to the hospital and they found 15 tumors. My doctor put me on a high regimen of chemotherapy, which it was either do the chemotherapy or die in 6 months. Regardless, he said I was gonna die, and maybe 8 months with chemotherapy. But I decided to give it a whirl. And chemo made me really sick. I couldn't eat for weeks. I lost a lot of weight. But it ended up helping me. I underwent 10 strong rounds of chemotherapy, and this is like in and out of the hospital all the time with blood transfusions and being sick, like I said, not being able to eat, and sores in my mouth, etc. And on top of that, I was still recording music, still going through that. Well, my tumors got small enough where I was able to, I was actually able to have surgery, my first surgery. And whenever I first got diagnosed, my doctor told me, you're never going to be able to have a surgery. There's no way. You have too much cancer. So I just kind of took it, day by day, and asked God to help me, and after my 10th round, I got surprised with the news that I was able to have a surgery. Well, I had a 7.5-hour surgery where I lost a lot of my organs. They cut me all the way straight down my stomach, my whole torso.
Yeah,
and,
I remember that.
Yeah. They removed so many things from me, man. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I lost my spleen, my gallbladder, part of my colon, part of my rectum, my diaphragm lining, and then my stomach lining during this first. And then they took out 4 tumors. Well, after that, I went into a remission. I guess you could say it's a remission. But the type of cancer I have really doesn't go into remission because it's so aggressive and so terminal. Yeah. And they were pretty surprised, that I went into remission. And I was like, remission? Wow, I was ready to hear that, after being told that I was going to die in 6 months.
Yeah, definitely.
So I continued 3 more rounds of chemo, which was a total of 13 rounds.
Jeez.
And then they kind of stopped for a few months. They stopped for about maybe like 4 months. Mm-hmm. Well, in that 4-month time frame, my cancer returned, and it returned real aggressive again. 4 more tumors had came back, and they were starting to attack me. So they gave me 3 more rounds of chemo, and then they gave me some radiation. And it actually did help again. And then I had a second surgery where I lost, more of my tissue inside. I lost my appendix, 4 tumors. They put a temporary ileostomy bag where I used a restroom in, for a couple months. And then, everything was fine. I felt okay. I was really sick. The recovery part's really hard from surgery, especially whenever they cut your torso, because that's, that's where everything moves from,
Yeah, it's your core.
Yeah, it's the core where everything moves, so it's kind of hard to move around and breathe, and, just everyday life, it makes it tough. But I came out of surgery, like a champ, and healed fine. And then after that, we kind of just watched it for a few months. Well, a couple months after surgery, they reversed my ileostomy, where I didn't have to use the restroom in the back no more. And they said, you could use the restroom normal, blah blah. So, so I was happy about that. I was like, wow, my tumors are gone, down there, and I don't have to worry about it. But a couple months right after they did that surgery, a lot of tumors started attacking me again, just out of nowhere. They just came out of nowhere, and that's a total of 9 tumors that started attacking me. I have 3 in my liver, I have 3 in my lungs, So my rectum and my pelvic wall, just everywhere. And then they're so spread that there's pretty much nothing they can do. They tried to do chemotherapy again. We tried 2 or 3 rounds of chemo, and it wasn't making any difference. So finally, the doctor's like, "Well, there's nothing we could do for you. Give you comfort and make you comfortable because they're causing a lot of pressure." And I do have a lot of pressure, especially like when I use the restroom or when I walk around. I have a lot of tumor pressure. So they set me up with more radiation. I did 5 intensive rounds of radiation to relieve pressure, and it helped at first, but then after a while it just stopped working at all. Now I'm at a point where I only have maybe a few months to live. There's nothing they can do for me anymore. It's spreading too fast. Chemotherapy's not working. They put me on a chemotherapy pill, and it was just making me too sick. So my hospice team made me stop. So right now I'm just getting hospice care where they come and see me at my house, and then once I start getting too sick, then I'll go into a hospice, and then and then they can take care of me in there and kind of comfort me. But other than that, throughout my whole cancer fight, I've been recording music. I've been writing songs. I wrote a song called "Watch Me Shine," and it talks about my cancer fight. I wrote a song to God called I can't wait to meet God.
Yeah, I remember you posting those.
Yeah, because at the time, I had a lot of things going through my head. Like you're gonna die, and I was excited to meet God. So I wrote him a song about it, and right now I'm still writing music, and I'm still recording songs. I'm still working with a lot of different artists. I've been rapping. Oh man, I've been rapping since I was young too. Since I was 13, I lost my mom to a drunk driver. Killed her when I was 13 years old. And,
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and then I actually use music to kind of express myself. A lot of people, they go crazy and they do a lot of crazy stuff. And back then, I was suicidal and, being young, and you're like, you ask God a lot of questions, why would you take my mom? And, you have a lot of questions, but no answers, and I used to just pray, and I use music in that aspect to express myself, and I've been doing that since day one. I had to move to Texas whenever my mom passed away to live with my brother, and I lived out there for quite a bit of years, about 5 to 6 years.
Are you originally from here?
Yeah, I was actually born here in Denver, Colorado, and raised in Texas. But I came back home to Denver, which Denver's my home.
Yeah.
When I was out in Texas, I met a lot of people from Texas, a lot of rappers. Like everybody that I know now. People from Swisha House, from Dope House. I met so many people, and a lot of people show me so much love, especially now that I'm fighting cancer. They really opened up the door for me in the music business. Right before I got diagnosed with cancer, I was signed to a record label called Young Soldiers. It's Lil Young from Swisha House started a record company called Young Soldiers, and he ended up signing me to his record label.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing shows, and we were out, doing a lot of things actually, going on tour, doing shows. But then I got really sick, and I had to do the chemo, and I had to kind of stop doing my tour. And I actually thought that they were going to drop me, but they didn't. They actually showed me a lot more love, and they all came out here, and we did a show together at Atmosphere. We did a really big show with everybody. Rashid came out. Philetto came out. A lot of people came out, and showed me a lot of love from Texas, and it felt really good to have that support. Lil Young and I, we have like a certain bond. Like we're more than just like like rap partners and stuff. We're more like familia now, like we see each other as family. Like he comes out here, comes to my house, and he hangs out at my pad. Like I don't just let anybody just come to my house and hang out, like you got to be familia to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, we build a really strong bond, man, and it feels good to be able to call people family, like he'll call and check up on me every day, how you doing, carnal, do you need anything, and vice versa. And it's not only him, it's other rappers, Milton Bradley, Carolyn Rodriguez, Phileto, he calls me a lot. I mean, even Kid Frost, I mean, him and I became really close, especially when I was really sick. He used to call me every day and check up on me. He'd call and check up on me and be like, how you doing, carnalito? You need anything? Or, to stay strong and keep fighting. And it feels good because, I mean, that's part of my Mexican heritage, of being a Latino rapper.
Yeah.
Is Kid Frost, like, wow.
He's a legend.
He's calling my phone. The legend's calling my phone, and he's checking up on me to see how I'm doing, and...
Yeah, it's got to be surreal.
Yeah, him and I actually did a show together out here in El Tenampa. We actually did a really nice show together, Kid Frost and I. And then we became really close. I'm not saying we're like best friends or anything, but we became close in an aspect where we can talk about anything. We can talk about my sickness and he wanted to do anything in his power to help me, to make me better and to keep me strong.
Yeah.
And it feels really good, and especially like Phileto's been really, I mean, he's been just one of the main persons that's really there for me, man. Phileto, he's a blessing in my life right now, man. He's doing everything in his power to try to help me out and be there for me. Like, he doesn't have to call me and doesn't have to come see me. Like, he'll come see me all the way from his house all the way to my house to come see me, and spend time with me and spend the whole day with me. And I mean, I like I said, I met a lot of artists, but I never met artists like these that are really gente and they're really down, and they really care.
Yeah. Those relationships that you build are just so important in life, man, and not just musically, but personal as well. You said about your mom earlier, and I kind of have a similar story. It wasn't a drunk driver thing, but I actually lost my dad when I was 17, and I was the one that found him, and he was real close to me. A lot of brothers our age and whatever, they didn't have the strong father figures, and I was one of the lucky ones that did. You know what I mean? And that was part of the reason why my music meant so much to me and got so much deeper as well. So that's kind of a little parallel that we kind of share right there.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, it'll change your whole life, man. It gives you stuff to write about, and real life emotions to express, in your music. I mean, you have to live it to actually be able to put it out there, into songs. I mean, it's pain that you have built inside.
I agree.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Like music nowadays has changed.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really use their feelings anymore.
It's all party music.
Yeah, it's all about party, drinking, drugs, stuff like that. Like, like girls and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all fun and games, but in reality, like back in the day when people did, music, it was about, a girl they loved or they had a crush on or something, but they expressed it in a way that'll make you understand, that on how they love that woman or, or they lost their friend or,
Mm-hmm.
Like it's real music, man. I mean, that's what real music is all about.
That's the soul in it.
Fulfilling.
That's the soul in the music that it seems like we've kind of lost over the past maybe 2 decades or so. What was your first introduction into hip hop, bro? Like, who were you listening to as a little kid that first got you intrigued?
You know what, man? To tell you the truth, whenever I lost my mom, Tupac had a barely came out with Me Against the World, and he had just released Me Against the World and Dear Mama.
Yeah.
The same year I lost my mom, And so Tupac was a real big influence in my music, man. Like I used to sit in the park and just listen to Me Against the World over and over and over again, and just, you know, and I used to get sad, you know. It used to make me sad and depressed, and I didn't want to feel that way, you know. But that's how the music made me feel, and that's what kind of turned me into the music. And to express myself in feelings was Tupac.
He was amazing at that, wasn't he?
Man, he was amazing at that. And like I said, I mean, it was like perfect timing, you know, like for me, it was perfect timing because he came out with that album. I had lost my mom. I was going through everything that he was talking about on that album. I was living it. And I was going through it, you know?
It's so crazy how so many of us identify with Tupac that way. He's usually one of the mainstays in everybody's top list, you know what I mean? And that's because of that, because he was able to touch you on so many different levels. He could get you riding, he could get you crying, he could get you feeling the saddest you ever felt, but he could make you feel like somebody else understood how you were feeling. And that's a beautiful thing. That's the main thing about music, because music is like a tool of emotions. Every song has some kind of emotion behind it. And Tupac was just a genius, it seems like, of having his emotions be relatable to everybody else.
Exactly.
Who else were you listening to, man? Who else was an influence for you? You said you're a very proud Chicano artist, and I wanna know if there was any influence from that as a young man.
You know, like I always listen to, like, you know, In Too Deep, and I listen to I listen to Kid Frost, Lighter Shaded Brown. You know, like I always get Mellow Man Ace and stuff like that. You know, I always listen to a lot of Latino rappers.
Yeah.
Especially living out in Texas. You know, I mean that's pretty much all there is out there. You know, I mean.
What part were you at?
I lived in El Paso, and then I lived in Amarillo.
Okay.
Amarillo. Yeah, so I kind of lived in both, in Chuco Town and in Amarillo.
Now, Texas just has a crazy scene out there, man. The Houston scene is out of control, and then, like you were just bringing up, El Paso and Amarillo, they all have crazy scenes out there, man. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's they're both different in their own aspects. You know, like Chuco Town, El Paso, it's crazy, man, because, you know, you're right there, right by the border, and you know, there's a lot of gangs out there. You know, it's pretty crazy out there. But the music scenes, you know, in both, I mean, a lot of people are out there doing it, man. You know, they're out there doing their music thing.
And it seems like they support each other. That's something that we haven't really been able to master here in Denver.
Yeah, and they do, man. They show each other so much love, dude. They don't hate on each other. You know, like everything is about their gente. You know, if one person got a CD, the other person got a CD, they're both buying one from each other, you know, and I've seen it done, you know. Whenever I was out there selling CDs, you know, someone would be like, oh, I'll buy yours if you buy mine. Cool, man, you know. And it was like that because it was just that support, you know. Out here, like, everybody wants to be the big dog and you know, and be on top of the world, but it doesn't work that way, man. You know, if we work as a unit, I mean, we're gonna stir up some ruckus.
I see a couple of cliques trying to do something like that. I see some A-Town heads doing that, and some West Side people doing that too. But it just seems like it's not quite there yet. And I'm part of it, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just as much a hater as almost everybody else out there. You know, and I'm really trying my hardest to not be like that. And this interview series is giving me a chance to do something like that, to get to know other artists and to really try and build those relationships. You know what I'm saying? Is there anybody here that has just gone above and beyond with you as far as music goes that you think has just really got it?
Oh man, I mean, there's a lot of people out here still doing it. I mean, you know, Score Dog's been doing it for a while. You know, he's doing his thing. My cousin Nico from Nico Music. I mean, he's come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he's come a long way from.
Yeah, he's got that spit.
Yeah, you know, from me and him just rapping in a basement, you know, having a dream. You know.
Yeah.
And I helped him out a little bit. I'm not saying I've helped him out everything, you know, but I've opened the doors up for him a few times, you know, and kind of got him to where he's at now, and he'll tell you that, you know, like he'll let you know that I helped him out a little bit in the music business, but he's not. He's done amazing things for artists, and he's all about Colorado love and showing love to Colorado artists, you know, and that's what I love, and that's what I always wanted for any artist in Colorado to do, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you're up there and you got the door open, you know, like let other people in, man. Like, you know, don't be stubborn and don't just shut the door behind you. Like, no, like let them in. Let them know what it feels like to be able to do so many shows and get paid and, you know, and be known and have a fan base, you know. I mean, it's wonderful. It's beautiful.
That's a beautiful thing right there, man, and I love the way you have that outlook on stuff. You know what I mean? Not a lot of cats here have that same outlook, and that's kind of why it is the way it is right now. So hopefully soon, man, we could remedy that. And Nico, I've actually seen him coming a little bit. You know what I mean? I got him on Facebook too, and I've seen some of the things he's got. And homie's got spit. He's got some mad spit. So I know he's getting some attention for himself, and it's, you know, it seems to be well deserved. So big ups to him.
Yeah.
Who else are you involved with?
Right now, I mean, I'm pretty much involved with myself. I mean, I been working with a few other cats, you know, that want to do some music with me and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Big Script, my boy Weddle. I mean, a lot of people, you know, there's a few cats that I've been working with, you know, and I mean, but they're doing their thing, you know. A lot of them are known, and a lot of them just kind of, you know, it's kind of pretty much do their own thing, you know.
Well, that's pretty cool, man. I'm glad to see how you show all that love and support to all these cats, and I hope the people that are our potential audience for whatever this might be, I hope that they listen, and I hope that they kind of take mental notes of some of these things, you know what I mean? Because it's all real talk, and it's all shit that should be said, and how the right ways of doing things. And that's just something that you don't see very often, you know what I mean? And you seem to be a real humble cat, man, and I could see just by following you that you're a fighter, bro, and I just support you 100,000% as well, you know what I'm saying? And I want to see everybody prevail, and I like to see how you're able to have quality time with your family and stuff. You got a beautiful family, brother, and I just think that it's a beautiful thing how people have been supporting you, because I've also been seeing that as well.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man, all the support I get from everybody, you know, because I don't have to put my struggles and my everyday life on Facebook, but I do, so people get an understanding that just because I'm sick doesn't mean that I'm not going to continue being a father, you know, being a husband, being a rapper, you know, living my life like God wants me to live, you know. Like a lot of people would give up and be like, oh, you know, this is the end of the road. Well, guess not, you know, it's not, because God has so much more planned, you know, because I'm still here for a reason. I mean, like I said, they gave me 6 months to live in the beginning when I first got diagnosed, you know, and since then, I haven't stopped, man. I have not stopped. I haven't stopped rapping. I haven't stopped living. I haven't stopped breathing yet, you know, thanks to God. And you just have to give it your all, you know. I mean, we only got one chance at this. You only got one chance at life, and you got to do whatever makes you happy, because most of the time, we spend our whole lifetime trying to make other people happy, you know, which is okay. But in all reality, whenever your lifetime is over, what have you really done to make yourself happy, you know?
Yep.
Like, what have you done to make yourself happy? Because you're the one that's living this life, you know? It feels good to make other people happy and make other people smile, but in reality, you need to make yourself happy first, man.
Those are wise,
you know, and
wise words.
Music makes me happy. Being around my family makes me happy. You know, talking about God makes me happy. You know, that's what makes me happy and content. You know, I mean, whenever I post stuff about how much pain I have, or if I'm crying, it's real. You know, I'm sitting here crying in tears. You know, it's real because that's what I'm living at that moment. You know. If I'm out with my family, then that's what I'm doing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
if I'm praying for somebody, then that's what I'm doing. I mean, I try to keep it as real as I can, and that's what I expect from everybody else. Just keep it real.
Well, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Leo, man. I'm forever inspired by you, brother. And I actually had a chance to meet you last year, man. You was doing that car show at the stadium, and I was there with my fam and shit. So we was kind of quick to be out. We didn't get to stay as long as we wanted to, so I didn't really get to go up to you and introduce myself. But I saw you there, man, and I see you working through all the struggles, brother. And I just gotta say, mad props and mad love, mad respect, all the above.
I appreciate you, Rich, man. Man, I got nothing but love and respect for you too, brother. Always, and always will, brother.
Well, I hope to actually get to meet you in person someday soon, and I would like to potentially work with you. You know what I mean? At some point, I see you can sing and all that shit too, brother. You know, I kind of like to pride myself on being able to do all that shit too. You know, so maybe we could hook up and do a little something at some point.
Yeah, whenever you want, I'm ready. I mean, you know, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'll work with anybody.
Well, right on, my brother. I appreciate you doing the interview with me, man. I don't want to take too much more of your time. I know you're a busy man, and I know you ain't feeling too well today. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day, man. But I appreciate you giving us some of your time and spreading some of that game, man. And I love your positive message, brother. Because me myself, I've had struggles with my faith, especially in recent years, and someone like you just really helps give me a resurgence in that faith. And I appreciate you for that.
Thanks, man. You know, I mean, I really appreciate it. But, you know, I mean, all the glory goes to God. You know, He's the one that's put me here to open up people's eyes, you know, and open up people's hearts to Him, you know. So, I mean, like I said, all the glory goes to Him. But, you know, I'm just His servant trying to do His work. Amen.
Can we get some last minute plugs from you, brother? Can you let everybody know how to find Leo the G? Throw some Facebooks and Instagrams and whatever else may have you.
Yeah. You can go to Facebook. You can find me at Leo Gama, LeoGama. You know, request me, add me, message me. You can also go to find my music on SoundCloud. Just go to SoundCloud.com/Leo the G/Young Soldiers.
And you could also find Leo's stuff on YouTube. You can see links to all of his videos that he's done and songs that you could hear on YouTube. So definitely check Leo out any chance you get. Leo, I appreciate you being here, brother, and thank you so much for letting me have some of your time, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for the interview, man. God bless you. Have a good day, brother.
You too, my brother.
All right.
Late.
Late.
Well, that was Leo Gama, Leo the G, and what a inspirational story Leo has, and that he's so open with. I just want to go on record to saying I really do appreciate. I told him, but I also want to say it again. I really appreciate him giving me some time. He didn't have to do that, and it's just a wonderful thing. So thank Leo for having you, brother. Appreciate it. For more reviews, shorts, and interviews from the Vicious Network, check out The Vicious One on YouTube. That's THA Vicious One.